Ever tried navigating a new city? Like, completely lost. No map, no GPS, no clue how any of the streets connect.
Oh, I've been there. Talk about frustrating.
It is. And in a way, that's kind of how AI has been trying to make sense of the world for a long time. Like, without really getting how things connect.
It's been mostly about patterns and data, yeah.
But that whole understanding of how things actually relate to each other,
Mm-hmm.
that's been the missing piece.
The relational reasoning, right?
Exactly. And it's huge because relational reasoning, it's not just some abstract tech thing.
It's kind of fundamental, isn't it?
It's how WE figure things out, how we solve problems, get language, even how we strategize in games.
You don't just see a chair, you see a chair in relation to the table, the room.
Right. So how do we get machines to think that way? Well, researchers at DeepMind, they dove into this whole challenge, and they published some really interesting findings on something called relational recurrent neural networks.
It basically wanted to see if AI could move past just memorizing stuff.
And actually start figuring out how it all fits together.
Like the relationships between things.
Not just recognizing, say, a face.
But knowing whose face it is and what that means.
Okay, so how they test this?
With this really clever experiment, they call it the nth farthest challenge. Might sound simple.
But it's not.
Well, imagine a bunch of random points scattered across like a space. The AI gets a point and then has to figure out which of the other points is the nth farthest away.
So not just the farthest.
But the second farthest, third farthest, you get the idea.
Okay, yeah, I see where the relational part comes in.
And this is where those traditional AI models, the ones everyone's talking about, they kind of hit a wall.
Couldn't handle it.
They got stuck at like 30% accuracy, basically random guessing.
So this seemingly simple challenge, it showed a flaw in how we were building AI. It wasn't enough to just throw data at it.
It needed to understand the connections within the data.
And that's where, if I'm following, this RMC thing comes in.
The relational memory core. Basically, a new type of AI model built specifically to tackle this kind of challenge. And it all comes down to this thing called multi-head dot product attention.
Okay, that sounds a little intense.
I know, right? Imagine, like, each piece of info that AI has is a person in a room. This attention thing, it's like letting them have multiple conversations at once.
So instead of just random facts flying around?
These memories, they can actually figure out which connections matter most for solving the problem.
And that's what makes the RMC so powerful.
Exactly. It lets the AI see those relationships just like we do.
And when they tested this RMC on the, what was it, nth farthest challenge?
It didn't just pass, it aced it. Near perfect accuracy, blew the other models away.
It's not just a small step.
More like a giant leap for AI, a giant leap toward relational AI.
So we've gone from AI struggling with distances to this RMC thing, like becoming a relational pro.
Yeah.
But what does it actually do for us, like out here in the real world?
Right. Well, we're really just starting to see what's possible. But think about any field where understanding connections is key.
Give me an example. What kind of fields?
Take medicine, you've got symptoms, medical history, all those things, and they all relate in some way.
Traditional AI, it just sees a bunch of separate info, right?
Yeah, but AI that gets those relationships, it could see a bigger picture, connect dots, maybe even human doctors miss.
Like a doctor who not only reads your chart, but actually understands the story it's telling.
Exactly. And that could mean earlier diagnosis, treatments that are more personalized, maybe even predicting health risks way before they become problems.
That's amazing. Okay, what about something like, I don't know, predicting traffic? That's got to be all relational, right?
No, it's a nightmare of relations. Rush hour, accidents, weather.
Can AI even handle that?
Imagine an AI that could analyze all that in real time, predict the traffic flow, find the best routes.
No more traffic jams, sign me up.
And it's bigger than just that. Think about emergency response times, deliveries, even how cities are planned.
Okay, so this RMC thing, it's not just a new trick for AI to learn.
It changes how it sees things, how it interacts with the world.
It's fundamental.
In DeepMind's research, it's huge, but there's so much more happening in relational AI.
Really? Like what else is coming?
One area that's really interesting is common sense reasoning. Stuff that we just get, but it's super hard to program.
Like if I told you I hated the food at a restaurant.
You'd know I actually ate there, not just looked at the menu.
Exactly. It's obvious to us, but for AI.
It's a whole bunch of unspoken assumptions about how the world works.
Never thought of it like that. So if we can teach AI that kind of thinking.
It could totally change how we use technology. Imagine virtual assistants that get you, robots that can actually work alongside humans.
AI that's not just smarter, but more intuitive.
More human-like. We're still early, but the potential is incredible.
This RMC thing, it's like opening a door to a whole new world for AI.
It really is. And this is just the beginning. There's another big part of this relational AI thing we haven't talked about.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. But we'll dive into that after a quick break.
All right, so before the break, you were saying there's more to this relational AI thing.
Yeah.
What's this next chapter we got to get into?
Well, we've talked a lot about the potential, right? All the cool stuff AI might be able to do.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But like with any powerful tool, we got to think about the challenges, how to make sure we're using this tech responsibly.
Right? Got to keep it grounded.
Yeah.
Not get carried away.
Exactly. And one of the big ones, especially with this relational reasoning thing, is making sure it's fair, ethical.
Okay, so fairness and ethics.
Yeah.
When we're talking AI, what does that even look like?
Well, bias is a big one. AI, it learns from the data we feed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that data has biases in it, from society, from wherever,
The AI is going to pick that up.
it can. And then
Yeah.
you have AI making decisions based on those biases without us even realizing.
That's kind of scary. Like, it could perpetuate harmful stereotypes, discriminate without meaning to.
And that's why it's so important to have, diverse teams building this stuff. Different perspectives, different backgrounds.
So they can spot those biases in the data, in the code.
Exactly. It's like that saying, garbage in, garbage out. If we feed AI bad data,
We get bad AI.
and it's not just the data itself, it's how we design these AI systems, what goals we give them.
So we can't just, check a box and say, diverse team, we're good.
It's deeper than that. We got to ask the hard questions, like, what are the consequences of this AI? Who's benefiting? Who might be hurt?
We're almost creating the rules for a whole new society, in a way. One where AI is calling the shots.
And that's why these conversations are so crucial now while it's still early.
So not stopping AI, but making sure it goes in the right direction.
Exactly. AI that works with human values, not against them.
Wow. We went from robots trying to figure out distance to, the future of society. This relational AI stuff is huge.
It is. It has the potential to change so much. Healthcare, transportation, how we learn, everything.
But it's on us to make sure those changes are good. For everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that was a deep dive for sure. Into the exciting and maybe a little bit scary world of AI. Remember, everyone, stay curious. Keep asking those tough questions, and let's build a future we can all be proud of.
Couldn't agree more. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep exploring the world around you.